Imperial Varnish. Again, the Imperial Varnish. When Octavian, the man we would like or would later call Augustus, entered the tomb of Alexander the Great in 30 BC, he wasn't there as a tourist. He was committing the ultimate act of geopolitical identity theft. Most historians describe this as a moment of respect between two great men. That is a lie. Again, that is a lie. Through the lens of the 71 method, we see this as a forensic rebranding. Augustus was standing in the ruins of a collapsed Roman Republic, and he needed a varnish to cover the blood and the chaos. He didn't find that varnish in Rome. He found it in Alexandria, and inside a golden sarcophagus. Today, we audit the physical geometry of this visit to expose how a republic was dismantled and replaced by an empire. This wasn't a meeting of leaders, it was the closing of a 300-year audit. The Macedonian ghosts in Alexandria. Let's reconstruct the crime scene. Again, let's reconstruct the crime scene. The Sama in 30 BC, Alexandria had just fallen. Mark Antony and Cleopatra are dead. Octavian is the last man standing, but his title is hollow. He is the leader of a republic that hates kings, yet he knows he cannot rule Rome without absolute power. He enters the tomb. The physical layout of the Sama was designed for all. It was the center of the Hellenistic world. Contrast that with Rome, chaotic, divided, and exhausted. Octavian stands before the mummified remains of Alexander the Great, a man who had been dead for 3 centuries but still possessed more prestige, capital, than the entire Roman Senate. Octavian wasn't looking at a corpse, he was looking at an eternal asset. To win Rome, he had to skin Alexander's prestige and wear it as his own. This is the definition of Imperial Varnish. The broken nose, audit. Desecration as ownership. Now we look at the pivotal moment of the audit. History tells us that Octavian leaned in to kiss the king, and in his clumsiness, accidentally broke Alexander's nose. We need to audit the clumsiness narrative. In the world of high-stakes optics, there are no accidents. By physically damaging the most famous corpse in history, Octavian was performing a psychological power play. He was signaling to Alexandrian elites and the Romans legions that the god king was now a subject. He followed this by placing the golden crown on the head and covering his body with flowers. This is the varnish. He honors the body only after he has physically asserted dominance over it. When the priest asked if he wanted to see the tomb of the Ptolemaic kings next, he gave his most famous logic line: "I came to see a king, not corpses." With one sentence, he performed a selected audit. He deleted 300 years of Ptolemaic history. He told the world that the only legitimacy that mattered was his direct link to Alexander. He wasn't the successor to the Greeks, he was the owner of their legacy. The structural transformation, republic to empire. What was the impact of this varnish or this visit on the Roman identity? It was the final layer of the transition. Octavian returned to Rome, but he didn't bring the republic back with him. He brought the Hellenistic model. He used the Macedonian aesthetic, the idea of the one ruler, and applied it as a forensic layover the Roman Senate. He kept the names of the Republic, the Senate, the councils, but the logic was now purely imperial. He hijacked the Hellenistic prestige to mask the fact that he was dismantling Roman freedom. By the time the Senate realized the Republic was gone, the varnish was too thick to peel off. This is how you master ancient psychological warfare. You don't destroy the old symbols, you re-index it until they serve your new system. The global lead, Augustus didn't just win the war, he won the narrative. He proved that whoever controls the symbols of the past controls the finances of the future. The logic remains the same, the players just have better suits. This is deep logic. The audit is never over. Audit complete.